The light is low and steady around us. Nothing is moving quickly here. The air feels still, almost held. You may notice a sense of alertness that does not know where to rest. It can feel like the body is waiting for something that never quite arrives. There might be a faint tightness somewhere, not sharp, just present. Perhaps in the chest, or the neck, or behind the eyes. I notice it with you, without leaning into it. The room does not ask anything of you right now. Even the dim light seems content to remain as it is. Anxiety often carries a quiet hum, like a distant sound that never turns off. It does not always shout. Sometimes it only lingers. You might sense it as restlessness without a clear reason, or as a feeling of being slightly out of place inside your own body. I am here beside you while that feeling exists. Nothing about your experience needs to be sorted or understood. The room holds us both evenly. The walls do not lean in. The shadows stay where they are. Your body may still be holding some effort without realizing it. Not tension exactly, just readiness. Like a hand that is not quite unclenched. I stay close to that sensation with you. Not to change it, only to remain present while it is there. You may notice how thoughts drift through more often in moments like this. They come quietly, then overlap. They do not always form clear sentences. Sometimes they arrive as fragments or images. I do not follow them away from you. I remain right here. The dim light softens the edges of the room. It makes everything feel slightly less defined. Even the corners seem gentler. Your awareness might still feel alert, scanning without direction. That is allowed to be here. There's no urgency in how I sit beside you. My presence does not rush the moment forward. You may sense the weight of your body where it meets the surface beneath you, not as something to focus on, just as something quietly noticeable. The quiet room does not magnify your inner noise. It simply gives it space. Sometimes anxiety feels louder in quiet places, not because it grows, but because nothing else competes with it. I remain steady while that happens. You do not need to push the feeling away to make room for me. I'm already here within the same space. There may be a subtle sense of time moving strangely. Minutes can feel stretched or compressed. The clock is not important here, only the shared stillness. Your body may still feel slightly on edge, as if it expects the moment to shift suddenly. I do not shift. I remain consistent beside you. The light does not brighten or fade. It simply stays. That steadiness is noticeable, even if only faintly. You might feel both calm and unsettled at the same time. That mixture can feel confusing. It does not need interpretation. I sit with both sensations equally. Nothing about you is being evaluated here. There is no standard you are being measured against. The room does not compare this moment to any other. Anxiety often brings a sense of needing to stay alert, as though rest would be unsafe. I remain near without challenging that feeling. You do not have to choose a different state to be accompanied. Your awareness may keep circling inward, checking how you feel again and again. That movement can continue without interruption. I'm not disturbed by it. The quiet room feels patient. It is not pressed for silence inside you. It allows sound and stillness to coexist. You may notice the simple fact of being here, not in a dramatic way, just a plain sense of presence. I share that presence with you. My nearness does not depend on your state of mind, whether thoughts are busy or slow, whether your body feels settled or not. The dim light keeps everything softened. No stark contrasts, no glare. Even the air feels unhurried. If your chest feels slightly constricted, I notice it calmly. If your jaw is holding, I remain beside that too. Nothing needs to be released for this moment to be valid. Anxiety can make the inner space feel crowded, as though there is not enough room to rest. I do not take up space that needs to be defended. I'm simply here. The room does not echo with expectations. It does not ask you to feel better. It only offers quiet continuity. Your thoughts may slow for a moment, then pick up again. That rhythm is allowed. I do not leave when it changes. The light remains dim and steady. The room remains unchanged. And I remain with you exactly as you are. I am still here with you in the same quiet room. Nothing about my presence has shifted. The dim light continues to rest gently around us. You may notice the space between thoughts growing slightly wider. Not empty, just less crowded. There could be moments now where nothing in particular stands out. Those moments do not need to be filled. I remain beside you inside them. The body may begin to feel less braced without announcing it. Not loose, just less prepared for interruption. I notice that softening with you. The room feels steady enough to hold silence and sound together. You do not have to decide which one comes next. Your awareness might drift outward for a moment, then return inward again. That movement feels natural here. I stay present through both directions. There may be longer pauses between thoughts now. They arrive more slowly and leave without urgency. The dim light continues to blur sharp edges. Even inner edges can feel less defined. You might sense a subtle ease that does not claim permanence. It does not need to last. It is simply here now. I sit with you without marking progress. Nothing is being measured. Nothing is being achieved. The quiet room feels familiar rather than empty, as though it has been waiting patiently all along. Your body may rest into its own weight a little more, not sinking, just settling where it already is. I remain close to that settling. The inner hum of anxiety may still exist, but it feels farther away, like a sound behind a wall. I do not move toward it or away from it. I stay with you in the center of the room. Time begins to feel less structured here. Moments are not counted. They simply pass through quietly. Your thoughts may feel less personal now, as though they belong to the room as much as to you. I remain beside you while that sense unfolds. The dim light does not highlight anything specific. It allows everything to exist without emphasis. That lack of focus can feel relieving. There is nothing that needs attention right now. I stay with you in that neutrality. Breathing continues in its own rhythm, unnoticed until noticed, then unnoticed again. The body knows how to continue without direction. I trust that quiet intelligence alongside you. The room does not react to changes in your inner state. It remains constant. That constancy can feel grounding without effort. Your awareness may feel more spacious now, less concentrated on any single sensation. Space itself becomes noticeable. I share that space with you. Words feel less necessary here. Even so, my presence remains felt, not through sound, but through steadiness. Thoughts may appear briefly, then dissolve on their own. They do not linger for explanation. I do not hold on to them. The dim light continues to rest softly across the room. Nothing flickers. Nothing startles. Your inner landscape begins to resemble the room itself. Quiet, open, unforced. I remain near without entering that space, simply accompanying it. There may be moments now where you forget to check how you feel. Those moments arrive naturally and pass just as gently. The sense of being washed by your own mind fades slightly. Awareness feels less self-directed, more ambient. I stay present within that ease. The room feels like it has always been this way, as though nothing needed to change for you to arrive here. Your body may feel neutral now, not heavy, not light, simply present. I sit beside that neutrality. Silence stretches comfortably between sentences. It does not feel empty. It feels complete. The dim light holds everything evenly. No highlights, no shadows demanding attention. You may notice how little effort this moment requires. Nothing is being held up by force. I remain with you as effort fades in the background. Awareness widens further, less centered on the body, more diffused throughout the room. I stay with you in that widening. Thoughts now feel optional. They can appear or not appear. Either way feels acceptable. The room does not respond. It simply remains. And I remain with you. The dim light seems to rest rather than illuminate. Nothing is being revealed. Nothing is being hidden. Your awareness feels broader, less attached to any single point. Thoughts arrive less often, and when they do, they pass through gently. I remain beside you without tracking them. There is more space between moments now. Not an empty space, a comparable one. The body feels present without asking for attention. No signals stand out. Everything feels evenly balanced. I sit with you in that balance. The room feels settled in itself, as though it has exhaled and stayed there. Time feels softer here, less linear, less demanding. Moments do not need names. They simply exist and fade. I remain constant while they do. The dim light no longer feels like background. It feels like part of the stillness. Your inner world reflects that same quiet tone. Nothing pulls strongly anymore. Nothing pushes. There's a sense of being allowed to remain exactly here. I stay with you inside that allowance. Awareness feels calm without effort. Not focused. Not drifting. Just open. The body continues on its own. Breathing moves naturally, unnoticed and unremarkable. I do not bring attention to it. I simply remain nearby. The room does not change as time passes. Its steadiness feels familiar now, like something known rather than observed. Thoughts may pause entirely for stretches. Those pauses feel gentle, uninterrupted. I am present within that quiet without filling it. There is no sense of needing to stay alert, no sense of needing to let go either. Both ideas feel distant now. The dim light holds everything at the same level. Nothing stands out as important. That lack of emphasis feels soothing. I remain with you in that evenness. Your awareness feels less personal now, more like part of the room itself. Boundaries feel softer, less defined. I stay beside you as those edges blur. Silence feels natural here, not something that arrives, something that has always been present. The room seems to rest in that silence effortlessly. I do the same beside you. Moments stretch without needing to be filled. There is no anticipation of what comes next, only this shared stillness. The dim light continues without variation. It neither brightens nor fades. That constancy feels reassuring without needing explanation. I remain with you in that constancy. Awareness becomes very spacious now, almost transparent. There's little to hold on to, and no need to. I stay present without anchoring anything. Thoughts, if they appear, feel distant and light. They pass like soft impressions, leaving no trace. The room feels complete as it is. Nothing is missing. Nothing is added. I remain beside you in that completeness. Time feels less noticeable now, as though it has slowed to match the room. Moments dissolve gently into one another. I do not mark their passing. The dim light continues to hold everything quietly, including us. Presence feels effortless now. Not something you are doing, something that simply is. I remain with you inside that simplicity. Words feel less frequent. Silence grows more spacious between them. Nothing feels interrupted by it. The room seems to breathe without motion, still and alive at the same time. I stay with you as everything settles into that state. Awareness rests without direction, without effort, without need. I remain here as the moment gently thins, allowing quiet to take up more space, until words feel almost unnecessary, and presence carries the rest.